All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. So, this lesson is going to be a lesson about don't sell your eggs, right? And what's happening is America is now going through financial distress where people are resorting to a phrase called doing strange things for a piece of change, right? And people can't afford it. And these women, right? A lot of these women work in retail, or a lot of these women are in college, and 2/3 of college debt um actually is because of women, right? Women are in debt to 2/3 of college debt or something like that, right? So a lot of them, or a lot of these women, have paid real high to get that lifestyle they see on social media and are suffering from it. Or a lot of women want that lifestyle and are selling their eggs for it, right? So we're gonna watch a few videos, right? Right here.
Obviously, donating your eggs has lifelong consequences. And
Now, mind you, let's
the question
go.
I get asked is, do I regret it? Where are my children?
So this woman sold, when she says she sold her children for $60,000, what that actually means is she sold her eggs for $60,000, right? She sold some of her eggs for around 60K.
Now, do I still have contact with them? And to answer your questions, I sold my children for $60,000. And the number one question I get asked is, do I regret it? Where are my children now? Do I still have contact with them? And to answer your questions, so in my 20s, I was an egg donor and I did about 6 egg retrievals and in the end made around $60,000. Obviously, donating your eggs has lifelong consequences and implications. And one of those is that somewhere out there, I have my DNA running around. 5 out of the 6 couples that I donated to have decided to remain anonymous, and I am in no contact with them. But one of the couples I am actually very good friends with, and I keep in touch via Instagram and Facebook. They are a gay couple from France, and both are so handsome, successful, and the only thing missing from their lives was a child. And I know this is gonna sound absolutely crazy, but about 3 years ago, I started dating a guy from France. I met this guy online, we chatted for 4 months, and after 4 months, I was like, okay, I'm gonna hop on a plane to France and meet you. So I was posting all over Instagram and social media that I was gonna be taking a trip to Paris. And these 2 guys reached out to me and said, hey, like, we're in Paris. We would love to meet up with you and introduce you to our daughter. So not only did I hop on a plane to meet a guy that I met off of the internet for the first time, but I also was going to meet my biological daughter for the first time. I just remember seeing her for the first time and being like, oh my gosh, she really does look like me. It was a really surreal experience, and I don't think that a lot of egg donors get to have the experience of meeting the child that their eggs produced, which sounds so crazy. But yeah, that's been my experience. And so at the end of the day, a lot of people ask me, do I regret selling my children for $60,000? And the answer is no, and it will always be no. Do not donate.
So before we get into the next video about do not donate your eggs, we're going to go through scripture, right? And the scripture is going to be 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10. And it says, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows, right? So as you see, that woman, right, she sold her eggs for $60,000, and now her daughter, right, is being taken care of by a gay couple. Now, let's check this out. She may not see what's wrong with that, but according to scripture, she did a very bad thing. Right? It says in Luke chapter 17, verse 2, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged around about his neck, and he cast into the sea, than that he should offend one of these little ones, right? And we're going to get out another translation of that scripture right here, right? It will be better for them to be thrown into the sea with a millstone tied around their neck than to cause one of these little ones to stumble, right? So what that woman did was she caused her little one to stumble, because the thing is, when you are donating your eggs, right, or even if when you're donating your sperm, a lot of people that come in to these clinics to get a hold of your eggs or get a hold of your sperm are freaks, right? They're weirdos, right? So that woman, she gave away her eggs, and eventually those eggs end up being uh they end up going to a gay couple, right? So now that daughter growing up is gonna see that there's nothing wrong with being a homo, which, by the way, according to the Bible, it is wrong to be a homo, right? But that woman has now basically screwed her daughter over, right? Let's get this out. I think it's in Numbers, right? But we'll get a few scriptures here. Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind, but as with womankind it is abomination, right? So the woman put her daughter in a abominable situation. Now we're gonna watch another video before we get on all the side effects and defects about selling your eggs.
Donate your eggs. I'm only going to say it once. I know the ads are going crazy. Times is hard. Do not donate your eggs. Okay, I've been seeing mad ads. I've seen like 6 different ads from 6 different companies talking about donate your eggs, get $5,000 to $10,000. So I have a friend who fell for the ad, right? She donated her eggs. I'm going to tell you this right now. It's not no short 1-2 process. It's a huge time commitment. It's months. You have to go to multiple doctor's appointments. You have to do injections. You have to do self-injections. You have to do a psychological test. There is a high risk associated with extracting eggs from your body. It's a high risk. You run the risk of ovarian cancer, getting ovarian cysts, having chronic pain for the rest of your life after that. They don't talk about that. And also you can get, it's like called like hypertension in your fallopian tubes or something, and your fallopian tubes can end up twisting and completely cutting off the circulation, and they'll have to remove your entire uterus, where you won't even be able to have children anymore. Now you're infertile. They don't talk about these things. They lead with the money. My friend now has chronic pain. She has to go to the doctor constantly. She has no choice. Yes, she got the money. Mind you, you don't get the whole 10,000, 30,000, whatever they offering you, because every company offers you something different. And they don't give you the money all one whoop wop. They give you it like at every stage. Like, oh, if you do the first doctor appointment, they give you 500. Oh, if you do the injections, they give you more money. And then if you do this, it's like at every level they give you like more money. It's not worth it. Don't fall for these ads. I keep seeing them. I know they pushing them heavy. They're really taking advantage of the fact that a lot of people are desperate for money right now, especially during the holidays. And I just want a lot of women to be aware that this is not some easy procedure that can just be done a quick 1-2 and you're just going to go back to your regular life. This can really handicap you. And I don't think it's worth the money. Like, it's just not worth that little bit of money. Like 10,000, 20,000, 35,000. It's not worth you being in pain for the rest of your life. It's like, maybe other people have a different type of experience. I don't know, but I know from my close friends' experience that I would not wish that on nobody.
Right. So, if you realize right here,
won't even be able to have children anymore. Now you're infertile. They don't talk about these things. They lead with the money.
They lead with the money.
My friend now has chronic pain.
And her friend has chronic pain, right?
She has to go to the doctor constantly. She has no choice. Yes, she got the money. Mind you, you don't get the whole 10,000.
So, I'm going to rewind to that point. So, her friend, who has done the egg procedure of selling her eggs, has gotten the money from selling her eggs, right? But now her friend is in chronic pain. So the chronic, and she has to keep going to the doctors. So get this, right? This is how the devil is. He'll give you a promise that's false. It sounds good, right? But it's a trap, right? So her friend sold her eggs for thousands of dollars, right? And now her friend has chronic pain. And on top of that, not only does her friend have chronic pain, but she has to go to the doctors and probably use the money from selling her eggs to pay for the doctor visits, right? So she, not only that, in the end, she ended up with no benefit, but guess what? Evil E still got the eggs. And Evil E is going to do wicked with that. Now, let's see some negative side effects about these eggs, right? It says the cons of egg donation. We're not going to look at the pros because the pros is money, right? You don't want to. The love of money is the root of all evil, right? Now, let's see. The list of cons of egg donation, right? Complications are possible with egg procedures, right? So, although complications are considered rare for egg donation, they are still possible, and these are the complications, as you can see, right? Now, they say rare, but it's not that rare, or it's not as rare as they say it is, right? It can be a procedure filled with psychological difficulty, right? Now, mind you, when women try to sell their eggs, they do go through hormones because they're doing something that's unnatural with their body, right? And the fertility drugs involved can cause a pregnancy of multiples, right? So it is not uncommon for women who are sexually active in donating their eggs to become pregnant with multiples during and so on, so, right? Overstimulation of the ovaries can become permanent. The fertility medication given to egg donors is intended to create a temporary overstimulation of the ovaries, right? Now, it says here, some women who donate their eggs, however, have found that their ovarian hyperstimulation becomes permanent. This means that discomfort and pain from swollen ovaries and other complications become part of the monthly menstrual cycle, right? So let's say a woman already has pain during her menstrual cycle, right? Well, now, because you wanted some extra money, now you got some super pain, and now you got to pay for more medication, right? That's only going to hurt that woman more. And 5, many women do not know who receives their eggs, right? And 6, it may lead to eggs that have genetic defects, right? So that's the thing too. When these women go to sell their eggs and donate their eggs, they also become a victim of genetic defects in their eggs, right? To the point that even if they are able to become pregnant after the whole procedure, they may become pregnant with a child that is very disabled, right? So, and even though this lesson has been mainly about women not selling their eggs, for men, do not sell your sperm. If you're in a tough spot, turn to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Remember, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah is only for his elect, for his children Israel, right? So if you're hearing this message, the Israelites are the Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You gotta keep the law to the best of your ability, alright? And do not rely on Esau's system to save you, right? So do not donate your eggs and do not donate your sperm, for you have no idea. Usually you have no idea what your samples are going to go to, right? You don't know if your sample is going to go to a freaky person or not, right? And honestly, you should be able to raise your own child anyways, not rely on someone else to raise your child. So I hope this lesson is very edifying. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Just keep pushing in the Lord. And keep pushing the Spirit. Shalom.